Today I'm making this vignette, an all green themed vignette. It is for St. Patty's Day, and it is a collaboration that is an all thrifted item collaboration. You are supposed to repurpose your junk, and it is hosted by Thrifted Junker Vintage Hunter, and that's Misty's channel, and also Chapter 2 Vintage Company, and that is Alex's chapter. And so I am starting with this tray that I got from Goodwill. I gave it a good scrub and soaked it just a little bit so that I could remove that decal that was placed in the center there. And it did just come off. It's just a thin sheet of plastic, and it came off with a straight edge razor blade. And I also like to use the razor blade all the time to get the price tags off. It's such a great tool. And so I'm repurposing this sign. I had this sign on a wreath last year. I will place an iCard up to see, so you could visit that video if you want to after this one and see how I put that together. But I'm just taking those clovers apart, and I'm going to paint them with some chalky finish paint by Valspar in an off-white. And I'm going to give these clovers a coat on the front and the back, and then I'm going to distress them. So in my description below, I have the links to both Misty's and Alex's channel. So check out their channels. They do videos about thrifted items, and they visit Goodwill stores and thrift stores and tell you about things that they find. And so it's really super interesting if you're like me and you like to see what treasures are found in thrift stores. They have great channels. Also, in the description below, I will have the link to the playlist that will have all of the videos in it that will have projects from what everyone else has done who's competing in this challenge. So that'll be fun to check out. So I'm using that same chalky finish paint to cover the tray, and it goes on really nicely. I sanded the middle of the tray there where the decal was so that it would just be a nice even surface. And so it goes on really well. And I can't wait to put the flowers on this tray because I am using some fresh greens that I brought in from outside, and I've had them inside for just a few weeks, and they have turned into blossoms, and they are so pretty. So this is also a quick reminder to subscribe to my channel. If you like this idea and you want to share other ideas, think about subscribing. So for the next item, I'm going to use this little basket that I got at Goodwill as well quite a while ago, and I thought it's just going to be really nice to use for this piece. I think it has an interesting shape and just kind of different looking, but it was sort of a gold bronze finish, which looked kind of old, and so I'm going to give it another coat of paint, another item here that I'm painting to brighten it up. I think it'll make it look nicer for springtime. And that just went on really quickly. It's it almost dries immediately. This paint is really nice. I've used it on a bunch of projects before, and it goes on really well. Now it's time for a stencil. I'm going to use this stencil on the middle of the tray. So even though it won't really be that visible for this project, I like to use trays on easels or propped up in the back of shelves so that you can, use them as home decor. And I like to have something in the center. So I measure left, right, top, bottom, and then I measure again just to make sure that it is centered. And for the stencil, I'm going to use the color Lem Lem by Annie Sloan, and this is Annie Sloan chalk paint, and I just do a thin layer of paint, and I'm using the this little applicator. It has just a flat edge, and I'm just dabbing it on. And when it's really thin like this, it really gives a nice even coating, and usually it doesn't bleed through. So I go over it a couple of different times and just lightly dab it on there and go all around. So this went on pretty quickly. Pretty much it was just 2 thin coats of that lem color, and that is such a pretty color of green. I think it's just really nice for spring, Easter, or St. Patty's Day, which is what this theme is for. And the letters on the bottom were a little more difficult just because they were really fine, just a thin coating there. So now for the reveal. And I love the way this looks. The paint underneath is chipping a little bit. I got some crackle, which I think just adds to the charm of this little tray. This came out so nicely, and it was really so quick and so easy. I also did some distressing around the edges of the tray, so I think it'll be really pretty for a farmhouse style look, a country look. And just to finish it, I gave it a very quick coat of gloss, clear coat that Krylon color there. So the next element I'm using here is a tea towel, and thank you to my friend Michelle. She gave me this. She knows I love tea towels, and she knows I love them in my projects. And this has an Irish blessing on it. So I thought this tea towel was perfect for this vignette. And I just folded it in thirds and then rolled it up. And I kept that scroll, that artwork on the outside there. Just made sure that that was showing on the top there, and got a green ribbon. Tied it really quickly with the green ribbon there, so that's ready to go. And so now to do my staging, I'm going to start with the tray first here. And I do have to say thanks to Val, who gave me that table, that adorable green table. When I first started this project, I thought I didn't really have anything that was green, and then I started looking around my house and I have all these great things. So I put a little bit of Dollar Tree moss and those little Dollar Tree moss stones in this basket, and then I put the clovers, those wooden clovers, in there to make a little basket of clovers. A thrifted green colored plate there. I think this will make a nice little background on just a little easel. Found this candle at Goodwill for $1, and then I'm going to use my tea towel on the front there. And now oh, and that's my thanks to Val for this beautiful table that I have in my foyer area here, which I think it'll look so pretty for spring. And that's also a thrifted vase that I've had for I think a couple years now. And look at my blooms. I want to show over here on the right that photo insert. That's what they looked like only about 2 weeks ago. So if anyone has forsythia and magnolia outside in their yard right now, bring it in, because they will start to bloom for you. And I think it's just amazing. It's so nice. I have fresh blooms in my house right now. That forsythia yellow is so pretty. So go outside, just cut down. Oh, and also I have that picture that I got at a garage sale last year. So this whole vignette is just totally either gifted or thrifted items. So I just want to thank our hosts for putting this challenge out there. Thank you, Misty, and thank you, Alex. And also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, if you like this idea. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye-bye.